Astraeos has been released as an official premium DLC on Ark Survival Ascended, and although we've been lucky enough to have this map for a little while now, this new launch brings with it the new extinction-themed island of Therokis. Created by Nakatis, Astraeos has so many amazing places that I've had a hard time narrowing it down for this video, but this is my favourite 28 base locations that I've found so far. As with all my base location videos, the spots I've chosen are mainly based on aesthetics, but some are useful too, so have a watch and let me know which location you're choosing to build your base at in the comments. Our first location is at latitude 46.2, longitude 10.3, and it is this stunning lagoon with a cascading waterfall and pink blossoming cherry trees. Above the pool there is a large, relatively flat area that is perfect for a pretty large base that overlooks the pool one way and the ocean the other. Here you'll find a lot of beavers, making it a great location for accessing a wood harvesting mound as well as pearls and cementing paste. The surrounding cliffs are full of metal-rich deposits and obsidian nodes, and you're not far from crystal spawns and loot drops. Moving to latitude 48.4, longitude 9.6, you'll find these cliffside ruins with an amazing view out across the ocean. This building is the perfect renovation project with plenty of internal space for a large base. You won't be able to fit many dinos in through the door, but there's room for an external dino pen. Enough of the structure remains that you could make this location secure pretty quickly, and you can place your own doors and floors to refinish the building. In the nearby area you'll find metal and obsidian deposits, and you're not far from the pool with the beavers at the last location. At latitude 60.2, longitude 15.7, you'll find the most adorable little farm complex with a small farmhouse and olive grove. You're a stone's throw from the beach in this location, and the nearby mountains are full of metal and obsidian deposits. The current dwelling is relatively small, but there's plenty of room to extend it, and you might want to take a look at that fence because it doesn't keep any dinos out currently, but it wouldn't take too much to secure the boundary. If you're searching for a private beach location, then look no further than latitude 69.5, longitude 21.2. Enclosed on two sides by towering white cliffs, this location has a gently sloping beach that stretches down towards the ocean. The area can easily be fenced off with gates and walls, leaving you with a naturally fortified base location. There are metal and crystal deposits a little further inland, as well as a selection of early to mid-game creatures for you to tame. Down on the beach at latitude 61.0, longitude 24.4, you'll find two abandoned camps close to some floating triremes. Both of these camps could easily be adapted to an early game starter base by completing the walls and adding some gates. The existing structures can't be destroyed, but they can be added to, and the tents provide some easy shelter for a freshly spawned survivor. Metal is easy to find on the hillside above, and the flat beaches provide plenty of space for expansion should you want to stay here long term. On the cliffside above the camps you'll find the entrance to a cave at latitude 58.0, longitude 25.0. Inside this cave you'll find a large area for building and dino storage, as well as a number of high-level resource spawn nodes and a pool of water. The cave is full of decorative crystals that give it a really magical feel, but make sure you come here with a good tame as it is full of snakes and spiders that will need clearing before you can call it home. As well as the crystal and metal deposits you'll find within the cave, there are also plenty more on the surrounding hills. This cave has a second exit which takes you out on the far side of the hill at latitude 56.5, longitude 26.2. Staying in this area, we move up onto the cliff tops to find an abandoned town at latitude 59.0, longitude 26.5. These white brick buildings would make the perfect renovation project with stunning views out across the bay. This vantage point also gives you a clear view out across a lot of the map, making it really easy to spot loot drops on all sides. In the surrounding area you'll find an abundance of metal and crystal, as well as a large selection of creatures to tame. If your base aspirations are more majestic, then at latitude 53.8, longitude 22.7, you'll find a mountaintop town complete with small dwelling houses, imposing temples, and your very own enormous statues. All of the buildings can be built within, so are easily converted to whatever use you need. Fortifying this area will take a little bit of work as there are a number of access points, but there is an abundance of resources in the surrounding area. This location could easily house a large tribe with enough room for everyone to have their own little house. For those who prefer island living, then the island at latitude 48.5, longitude 38.0 may be the perfect location. Set within an archipelago of islands off the east coast of Corinthos, this island is positioned to be fairly central as more gets added to the map. This pretty island consists of two raised platforms joined by a land bridge that can easily be cleared to make space for a large base. It's easily accessible by sea or air, and this island would be the perfect location for someone who wanted enough space to expand. The island has all of the basic resources on it, but if you want metal, obsidian and crystal, you are going to have to travel a little further afield. At latitude 33.5, longitude 6.2, you will find a stone amphitheatre that provides the perfect foundation for a large base. Already partially enclosed, it wouldn't take too much to secure this location, and the raised plinth at the back would be a great location for a house. The surrounding area is filled with resources, and there's a good selection of early to mid-game tames that spawn nearby. It is situated towards the western edge of the map, but with the teleport system, being central isn't so key on Astraeos. If having your own custom temple is your dream base, then at latitude 39.6, longitude 29.2, you'll find the perfect framework to build your own. The area has an abundance of resources, but it also has an abundance of hostile creatures, so you're going to want to be fairly well established before moving up here. Once you have the wildlife under control though, there is plenty of room to expand your base beside the temple. Situated on the east coast, you're going to have easy access to the rest of the map as it unlocks, whilst also being able to get all of the resources that Phokintos has to offer. Situated in a valley at latitude 58.0, longitude 21.4, you'll find a waterfall emerging from the ground and flowing into a pool below. The pool is surrounded by small cliffs which provide a lovely flat area to build whilst overlooking the water, and nearby you'll find two small farmhouses that make a lovely base spot too. Not only is the surrounding scenery stunning, but you'll also find a really good selection of natural resources here and a diverse range of creature spawns. If you want to live in a completely unique location on the map, then check out this underwater clamshell bubble at latitude 76.3, longitude 15.2. Within the clamshell, you'll find a large flat building area that's perfect for your underwater retreat. Right outside the clamshell, you'll find stone and metal nodes, and nearby there are plenty of silica pearls and oil nodes too. You're going to want water tames for easy access to and from this location, and to the left of the clamshell you'll find a small shelf that could easily be fenced off to make home for your underwater critters. The island at latitude 72.2, longitude 2.4 is perfect for someone looking for complete solitude. The island is on the far west of the map and a long way from everywhere, but it offers a huge amount of space and a good amount of basic resources. It's what's hidden beneath the waves that makes this base location really good though. Around the island you'll find silica pearls, oil nodes, metal and rich metal spawns, obsidian and crystal nodes. If you're happy to do your farming underwater, then you will find plenty here. The island also has the added bonus of being populated by passive creatures who can provide you with meat and hide but aren't going to threaten your existence. The entrance to our next location can be found at latitude 26.9, longitude 4.7, and once you head through that archway you will find an underground paradise. Not only are there huge flat areas to build on and a large amount of basic resources, but you will also have your own personal underground lake. This spot is enormous and could easily house a large number of people and tames. The cliff above the cave has a large number of obsidian deposits, and there is plenty of metal and crystal on the mountains to the east. At latitude 62.0, longitude 19.1, you'll find a small but incredibly idyllic base location situated on the side of a mountain on Phokintos. The area is so pretty it almost seems a shame to ruin it with structures, but if you want to retain the secret garden vibes, you could use cliff platforms and build up the walls. You'll find all the resources you need within the vicinity, as well as a selection of tames, and there is a loot drop that comes down just above. Situated off the south coast of Phokintos at latitude 37.3, longitude 48.5, you'll find an island with a large statue on it. There's a large flat beach that's perfect to build on, and there's plenty of space to create an ocean tame pen as well. The island has all of the basic resources you need for building, but you are going to have to travel a bit further afield to get things like metal, obsidian and crystal. But with where the island is located, you are really well placed for easy access to all of the main land masses. At latitude 9.6, longitude 10.4, you'll find a waterfall, and hidden behind that waterfall you will find the entrance to a cave. This whole cave is lit by crystals embedded in the walls and ceilings, and it has the most magical glow. Within the cave you'll find the usual cave dwellers and a few rocks, but not much more than that. This cave is a nicely hidden base spot with plenty of room for you and all of your tames, and is perfect for someone who wants to be tucked out of the way. Up on one of the mountains on Phokintos around latitude 9.1, longitude 14.8, you will find an enormous temple complex that has so much potential for creating an amazing base. The only difficult thing about this location is deciding where to start and getting rid of the boisterous neighbours. At the mountain peak, you'll find a large temple with plenty of space around it, and then as you descend, you'll come across a number of other structures, including some platforms with pools within them and a statue-lined street with two smaller temple buildings alongside. You're surrounded on all sides by dramatic scenery and an abundance of resources, and the creatures that spawn locally are the same as you would expect to find on snow biomes on other maps. Down at ground level and at coordinates latitude 22.5, longitude 34.4, you will find the entrance to a cave. Inside, you're going to find a huge amount of space as well as a large pool that's illuminated by a skylight above. There aren't any special resources in this cave, and you're going to want to bring tames or weapons to clear out the existing inhabitants, but it offers an amazing amount of space to live in whilst being fairly easy to secure against wandering creatures and nosy neighbours. I love the ready built farms on this map, and at latitude 15.8, longitude 30.2, you will find another small range of buildings that you can use to create your very own home. This farmstead has two buildings that you can access and build in, and a decently flat area around them that you can fence off for your tames. Nearby you'll find a really cool statue, an abandoned temple structure, and a really good selection of resources. There's a loot drop spawn just behind the buildings, which is really useful, but there are a lot of large dinos here, so make sure that your walls are strong. At latitude 16.0, longitude 34.6, you'll find the entrance to a decently sized cave on the side of a hill. Inside you'll find only stone spawns, so you're not going to be blocking off any resources if you choose to build here. This cave would be great for someone who just wants a roof over their head without having to worry about any fancy building, and this one has just two entrances that need blocking off in order to make it secure. There is a lot of vertical height, which would make it really easy to expand upwards, and you can also store large dinos. You'll find a whole host of resources in the area, including metal and obsidian. You'll find our next location at latitude 19.7, longitude 35.7, and although this isn't the most practical, it is a really interesting location to build in. The quarry is already partially fenced off, and the main area would be relatively easy to secure. The carved blocks that remain would be suited to a base constructed over many levels. Nearby, you're going to find loads of useful resources and a wide variety of creatures to tame. At the back of the quarry there is a large area that's well covered and accessible by a steep but traversable ramp. This would make a really easy location to secure early on, whilst also giving you a good amount of space to get set up. The ruined temple complex at latitude 31.6, longitude 42.9 provides a large open flat area for building situated on top of a cliff overlooking a small river that heads out towards the sea. The temple floor provides the perfect blank canvas for you to unleash your creativity on. Nearby you'll find a good variety of resources and tames to assist you on your adventures. The other bonus of this location is that there is your own personal fiery pit into which you can dispose of the bodies of your enemies, dead or alive. At latitude 30.5, longitude 46.8, you'll find a sheltered bay guarded by two monumental statues. If you're looking for a location that allows for a large water dino breeding area, then this location is perfect, although it's going to take a bit of building to block off the whole of the entrance. There's a large flat area to the east of the bay that is perfect for a large base, and there is an abundance of basic resources nearby, but you're going to have to travel a little bit further for the more unusual ones. To the north of the new island of Therokis, you will find a small cluster of islands with plenty of large flat building areas. The islands are inhabited by desert spawn creatures including morellatops and velonosaurs, and you'll find plenty of crystal and metal nodes all around, as well as cactus plants. In addition to this, these islands give you really easy access to Therokis and the OSD's Element Veins and Wandering King Titan. Given the direction that the map seems to be expanding, these islands are pretty well placed to allow future exploration of the map. If you like the clamshell location I showed you earlier but want a more central location, then check out the deep water pool at latitude 55.6, longitude 39.4. Here you'll find 3 large clamshells that all have oxygen bubbles and you can build within them. Access is obviously harder than to the base locations on land, but these clamshells make for a really charming build location. To the south you'll find a large number of silica piles and underwater metal spawns, although you'll have to travel a bit to get wood, thatch and fibre. If you're determined to try and live on the new island of Therokis, then why not check out this relatively well sheltered temple that can be found at latitude 79.9, longitude 30.8. The surrounding area is relatively flat, giving you plenty of space to expand. Will you get stomped by the King Titan? Who knows, but hopefully the pre-existing structure indicates that you won't. So let me know in the comments below where your favourite place to build on Astraeos is, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, I will see you in the Ark. Take care.